Welcome to Raider Talks Postgame. I am Art Navarrete here with Nick Ybarra. We're here following the game between the Raiders and the Eagles, where the Raiders come out victorious and win the ball game 33-22. The Raiders are now 2-0 under interim head coach Rich Bisaccia. Nick, how are you feeling after that big win?
Big win. I feel great heading into the bye, 5-2. Really proud of how the Raiders came out today and executed and played in all three levels.
Our quarterback, Derek Carr, had a great game today. Derek Carr, 31 for 34 for 323 yards and a career-high completion percentage of 91%. How did you feel about his performance today?
Outside of the pick in the first drive, which I felt, it was a bad throw, a little rush, but, you had people coming at you. He played excellent. He completed 16 or 17 passes in a row.
Yeah.
He was out there being DC that we know. They did take away the deep ball a little bit, but just the way he was calling the game and executing on everything, man, he's elite.
Yeah, coming out of that game, offense looked pretty shaky there. Well, the offensive line looked shaky. A couple holding calls. Kind of cost us our drive a little bit there. We almost saved it with that big play to Zay Jones, but then ultimately ends up with a pick. But then from there on out, the offense was clicking and they were rolling. Yes. They were rolling all ball game. And another thing that was great today was the running game. The running game showed up to play. The Eagles are a better run defense than the Broncos. And I thought the Raiders came out and played today. Kenyon Drake, 14 carries for 69 yards, averaging nearly 5 yards a carry and a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, before getting hurt, 6 carries for 29 yards, averaging 4.8 yards a carry and a touchdown. How'd you feel about those guys today?
No, yeah, it starts with the line, but our running guys look very good today. Drake, I think, had back-to-backs of 10 yards, right? Yeah. And so just knowing that our running game is getting better and better by the weeks is exciting and something to look forward to.
Yeah, the line's doing great for the running game the last couple of weeks, but something I want to highlight is that the offensive line allowed 0 sacks and only 2 QB hits all game. They played really good against 2 good defensive lines in back-to-back weeks.
No, yeah, they did. Offensive line held their own today. A couple penalties by them that really killed our first drive, like you said, and, whatever. But just the way our running backs played, the way that Carr had all the time in the kind of world, only got hit twice, and no sacks. Offensive line played really well today.
With Waller out, Foster Moreau came in, stepped up, played big for the Raiders today. Foster Moreau, 6 receptions for 60 yards and a TD, averaging 10 yards and a long of 21. How'd you feel about Foster coming out and performing like that? Foster's a guy that I think is in the shadow of Waller a little bit. I think he can be a number 1 tight end on another team, and he showed out today.
Yeah, no, an hour before the game when I heard that Waller was out, I was a little nervous, just a little bit, because I knew that, the Eagles secondary possibly could lock up, and they did take away the big play, so, knowing that maybe we needed Waller, but shoot, Morrow came in and did his thing, like you said, 60 yards and a touchdown, which that touchdown was beautiful, by the way, beautiful catch, just a way to stay with it and everything, so, yeah, no, Morrow did really good today.
Yeah, coming in this game, we didn't know what to expect from the Raider offense. We didn't know if the Raiders were going to try to take what they want or take what was given to them. And throughout pretty much the whole game, they took what was given to them. And this was probably our best offensive day of the year.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I agree. Our best offensive day of the year, yes, because you had Carr doing his thing. You had the running backs doing their thing. Offensive line played great. You were down a tight end, your star tight end, but, next man up mentality, and that's what it was today.
Yeah, another guys I want to highlight is Hunter Renfrow, 7 receptions, 58 yards, averaging 8.3 yards an attempt. Hunter Renfrow was keeping plays alive today really well. He was making really good moves today. I was really impressed with how Hunter Renfrow plays. I mean, he always impresses me, but he played really good today, showed up. Bryan Edwards with 3 receptions, 43 yards, averaging 14.3 yards with a touchdown, a long of 24. Bryan Edwards, in his little time, he showed out in his 3 receptions. How do you feel about those guys and how they play today?
Renfrow had them on skates.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's going to make people miss whether he's returning a punt or, going for the first down. I don't know how many first downs he had, but he shouldn't have had half of them because, it was an easy tackle and he just made the defenders miss. So, no, yeah. And then on Bryan Edwards, just when we need him, he does this thing, and even like that touchdown on fourth down. I mean, it was fucking beautiful, a beautiful play, and he just makes the easy grab for the touchdown.
So who would you say is your offensive player of the game? Pretty sure everyone knows this, but I want to hear it from you.
Oh, it's DC. It's Derek Carr. Called a great game, executed it, and just the throws he was making. The one to Alec Ingold, the one to touchdown to Moreau, and even just the quick one to Bryan Edwards for the touchdown. It's just everything about him was pretty today.
I just want to mention that on Raider Talks Thursdays, for offensive player of the game, you said that Waller was going to be your guy. Mm-hmm. Waller didn't play today, but Foster Moreau took his spot really well, and your prediction was pretty good at the tight end position, and Foster Moreau ended up being one of our best players today. So good job on that. Good job on that prediction, even though Waller didn't play. I picked Derek Carr. He showed out today, played one of his better games I've seen in the last couple years. Mm-hmm. He played great today. Now I want to talk about the defense a little bit. Defense played pretty solid all game. I want to shout out the defensive line here. Yannick Ngakwe, my defensive player on Thursday, had 2 sacks and 2 QB hits. Max Crosby with 1 QB hit, Solomon Thomas with 2 QB hits, Quentin Jefferson with 2 QB hits. Max Crosby, Yannick flying all over the field, and Solomon Thomas was huge today. Definitely flying over all over the field around the quarterback all game long. How did you feel about this defensive line for the Raiders today?
Man, they made Hurts uncomfortable all game. I think the game was pretty much over after we got ahead 30-7. So I'm not even counting what they did in the fourth quarter, but. Man, they made him uncomfortable all game. I know he's a running quarterback, but man, they had him running for his life. Yannick was sitting there and he was all over the field and all over him. Max sat there and was getting a QB hit, but just really on him too. And even Max on the one where Hurts tried to run for a touchdown, and he just jumped over the line and got him. Yeah. Our 2 edges, they're unbelievable. Yeah,
I just want to mention the Raiders secondary that played really well today. The guy we didn't notice was Casey Hayward. Mm-hmm. Didn't notice him today. Nate Hobbs didn't notice him today. That's a good thing. How'd you feel about the DBs today?
No, they played really well. Like you said, really didn't notice them because they had them on lockdown. So they played great. And who I think played really well today was Abram. Abram had some big hits. He was running all over the field. He did really well today.
Yeah, Abram played pretty well. Had a fumble recovery along with Corey Littleton. Another guy I want to shout out, linebacker Denzel Perryman had a great game today. All over the field, making big plays. I remember he lost one guy on defense today, mm-hmm. but he played really well, and I hope he's okay so he can go out there next week. We really need him.
Yeah, no, Perryman was also another one who just was all over the field. He seemed like him and Abram seemed like they were in every play, but no, making the good tackles and everything. So, yeah, no, he's playing really well.
I want to shout out another guy that didn't have a job not that long ago, Brandin Ferguson. He came in. He looked pretty impressive, big guy, and he was just locking down. He was on Devontae Smith a lot of the game, locking him down. Brandin Ferguson played pretty well today. How'd you feel about Brandin Ferguson out there? No Arnett, no Mullen. Not that Arnett's really that big of a loss. No Amik Robertson today. He was a healthy scratch. Hopefully we get Mullen back soon. But Ferguson came in and played pretty good, and it really is a testament to Gus Bradley and his defense he brought in. We have a lot of depth.
Yeah, no, we do. From the first snap he took as a Raider, he's been impressive, and like I just said, the next man up mentality. He's coming up and he's making some big plays, making some big press breakups, and I like what I'm seeing because especially with Mullen out, it's not really a big loss with Faison out here.
So I want to hear it. Your defensive player of the game. Who's a go-to?
Yannick Ngakoue. No, he was all over Hurts. 2 sacks, a couple QB hits. And he just seemed like he was always right there. I think today he could have got like 4 or 5 sacks. That's how close he was and everything. So, yeah, no, he really balled out today.
I love what I saw from Yannick. Obviously, I think he's player of the game. But obviously, like we said earlier, got shout out the whole defensive line. They played great, opening up opportunities for the Raiders. The Raiders will be going into the bye with a 5-2 record. We're feeling good about that. How are you feeling about that? I'm feeling pretty great.
Yeah, no, 5-2. I'm cool with that. We played really well, and in these 7 games, we've played really, really well. All over everyone's predictions for this team. Some of them didn't even have us at 5 wins. No. So knowing that we're going into this bye, 5-2, sitting pretty because the Chiefs are struggling right now.
Yeah.
And I still feel like the Chargers are going to mess it up somewhere down the road.
I think they got a tough game. I think they got a tough game in Foxborough. Or no, they're playing in L.A., but they're going to be playing the Patriots, and the Patriots aren't no easy game. Yeah. Chargers coming off a terrible game against the Ravens. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how they come back looking from the bye. Like you said, Chiefs lost today. Their record is now 3-4. Denver lost on Thursday. They're now 3-4. Chargers in second place at 4-2, and your Las Vegas Raiders in first place in the AFC West at 5-2, sitting pretty going into the bye. Going to face the Giants, and that should be a pretty fun one for the Raiders.
Yeah, no, 5-2 going into the bye, and then, next week you play the Giants, which, like I said, nothing is easy in this league, but looking at their record, I know we make the trip and we play East Coast time, but, we have a real shot at going 6-2 going into that big one against the Chiefs, so.
Yeah, going back to this game today, the Raiders, Greg Olsen has been an excellent play caller the last 2 weeks. We're running great plays. Plays I don't even see. I don't really see with Gruden. We're running different plays at different times than when we see with Gruden. That's a big positive to take away from his last couple of weeks. That our offense is looking better without Gruden. And Greg Olsen looks like he's an elite play caller right now.
Yeah, no. It seems like everything got more smoother, less predictable, and more, easier and with Olsen, without Coach Gruden. Could you agree that Carr is a better quarterback without Gruden? Because he seems like he's playing more freely, more looser.
Yeah. Last 2 weeks, Carr is definitely playing more free, more loose, and to mention, everyone's playing more loose. Yeah, you saw what Josh Jacobs said in his presser. He pretty much says it feels more loose. Feels more relaxing on the sideline, not all hectic. And sometimes that can be bad for a team, being all hectic on the sideline, and you have a coach yelling at the refs all the time. Maybe it's good for this Raider team to get relaxed on the sideline and be relaxed on the field and have fun out there.
Yeah, because, everyone's not like Coach Gruden.
Yeah.
So if we were to really look at who really has that Gruden in them, it wasn't going to be all 54 or 53 of these guys. It just wasn't. And I think now you're starting to see that everyone's just playing looser, more freely. Hey, let's go do what we want, and I think it starts with our leader, DC.
Yeah.
And he's got really no one to, sit there and someone looking over his shoulder and everything, and he's playing his game, he's calling his own game, and it starts with DC, and I'm like what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Raiders in offense definitely look great today. We let the Eagles climb back a little bit, make the game look closer than the score. You know what I mean? I would like to see the Raiders finish better on defense. I think the defense can play much better. I would love to hold them even more. I would love to hold a team to 20 or under one of these games. I hope we can be one of those defenses toward the end of the year.
Yeah, no, me too. We won by 11, 2-possession game, which is good. But, yeah, no, this game was never an 11-point game. We had these guys by 23 at one point, and that's when, the game was over, when we were up 23. But, yeah, no, as long as we get the win. I think a win's a win. As long as we get the win, I'm cool, so.
Yeah. Great win by the Raiders. The Raiders heading to the bye at 5-2, first place in the AFC West. We're all feeling good about that. I want to thank everyone for joining this post-game, Raider Talks post-game. Join us, follow us on YouTube and Twitter, and we'll be talking this Thursday on Raider Talks Thursdays, and we'll be heading to the bye week feeling good.
Yes, sir. 5-2, first place. That sounds beautiful to me. Raiders 5-2, first place.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders.